It's May 23rd, 2023. Or is it? And this is Sketchworks NewsBrake. The news stops here. I'm Brian Troxel. Or am I? The NAACP issued a travel warning for Florida, stating that Governor Ron DeSantis' policies are actively hostile towards minorities. PETA issued a similar warning for talking mice, ducks, and whatever the hell Goofy is. A report by Special Counsel John Durham, known as the Durham Report, revealed that the 2016 Trump-Russia collusion story was a complete lie made up by the Clinton campaign. The report also revealed the campaign lied when they said Hillary was human and not a damp washcloth. The Biden administration has agreed to pay $1 billion to California, Nevada, and Arizona to alleviate the extreme drought from the Colorado River. A spokesperson for the administration said $1 billion is no big deal when the debt ceiling is an invisible, fake ceiling, such as the glass ceiling or the ozone ceiling. Hey gang, as you just saw, Sketchworks has a brand new stage show coming up in June. That's right, Sketchy Solstice hits the stage June 9th, 10th, 16th, and 17th at Frat Pack's The Warehouse in Scottsdale, Georgia, just 3 minutes east of downtown Decatur. Beat the rush and get your tickets now at sketchworkscomedy.com. And thank you for watching this Sketchworks Comedy gratuitous. New York City Mayor Eric Adams said that over half of the city's hotel rooms are currently filled by migrants. The other half, bedbugs. Staying in New York, after his campaign treasurer quit, Representative George Santos named himself to be his own campaign treasurer, which makes siphoning campaign money into his own pocket so much easier. After 60 years, the U.S. has returned to Mexico a 2,500-year-old sculpture said to represent the entrance to the underworld. In other news, Donald Trump will now be running for president of Mexico. The U.S. Air Force plans to better control access to classified data after an Air National Guard member leaked several highly classified documents online. The first plan of action: change the passwords on the computers from 12345 to 123456. The U.S. government may run out of money to pay its bills unless Congress and the White House can agree on a so-called debt ceiling. Sketchworks NewsBrake correspondent Tim Millard explains.
I don't see any debt on that ceiling. But I know I'm going to go into debt just trying to keep that ceiling over my head. I mean, the fact is, it's not getting any cheaper for anyone to keep a ceiling over their heads. Rent prices are going crazy. Mortgages. Boy, if you can find a house that costs less than $500,000 these days, good luck with that. So, Brian, this is a good time to bring up the fact that maybe you should consider paying your NewsBrake writers and correspondents. I'm serious. Pay us!
Thank you, Tim. Although your audio was cutting out a bit at the end there. Nearly 4 years later, a mom from Forsyth County has been arrested after going into the woods and leaving her baby in a plastic bag. A baby in a plastic bag is also what Ted Cruz brings when he packs a lunch. Theranos founder and convicted fraudster Elizabeth Holmes lost her bid to avoid prison. Holmes reacted to this decision by getting pregnant. Last week, Montana Governor Greg Gianforte signed a bill that will ban TikTok in the state. The American Civil Liberties Union accused the governor of having, quote, trampled on the free speech of Montanans who use the app to express themselves, gather information, and watch whatever the hell this is. Meanwhile, over on Snapchat, A 23-year-old influencer is charging $1 per minute to interact with her chatbot, Karen AI, as a virtual girlfriend. Look, I don't have a girlfriend, and I haven't had a girlfriend in a while, but I'm not about to interact with some chatbot, especially after Winston fell victim to that catbot scam. Look how sad he is. A woman in Texas is claiming to be the 3-year-old girl named Diamond Bradley who vanished 22 years ago in Chicago. The woman can tell she's from Chicago because of the 12 gunshot wounds in her spleen. The new Indiana Jones movie is set to come out next month. Notably, actor Shia LaBeouf will not return from the previous movie. Now, we here at Sketchworks NewsBrake have not yet seen the new movie, but our early review is, it's gotta be better, right? Reports, presumably not the Durham report, say that an orca named White Gladys has been teaching other orcas to ram into and sink yachts. Another sad example of white-on-white crime. Hey there, buckaroos! We are trying to get to 700 subscribers as quickly as possible. And if 12 of you, just 12 of you watching this right now, click that subscribe button, we'll get there. Well, assuming you're not already a subscriber. The only way to be sure is to click that button and ding that bell and gnip that gnop. A huge upset over the weekend when crowd favorite and Kentucky Derby winner Mage only came in third at the Preakness. Mage is partly owned by the sports investment company Commonwealth, which offers horse enthusiasts a chance to buy and own a percentage of the horses, a practice made popular in the 1940s with Seabiscuit, seen here. On Saturday, CBS announced James Corden's replacement as host of The Late Late Show. The new host is Patrick Kielty. A study in the journal Science shows more than half of the world's lakes are drying out. So find a new place to dump your bodies. A Taylor Swift fan is selling Raindrops from the Gillette Stadium Eras Tour concert for $250 on Facebook Marketplace in weed containers. Sources say without the weed, it's a total ripoff. In other music news, Foo Fighters, or as I like to call them, Dave and Friends, has announced Josh Freese, drummer for The Vandals, band I've never heard of, will be joining the group on their upcoming world tour. You can purchase tickets for the price of your firstborn child, and all proceeds will go toward funds to buy more white guitars for the band. And that's this week's Niche Joke, our ongoing segment where we feature a joke that only one person in our audience will think is funny. And that one person is most likely the writer of said joke. In still even more other music news, after terminating their contract with Ye in 2022 for the rapper's bigoted remarks, Adidas announced they would start selling Ye's Yeezy shoes at the end of May. Ye said he was thankful to the Jews at Adidas for finally coming to their senses. In yet again a shockingly more amount of other music news, Kurt Cobain's smashed and signed Fender Stratocaster sold at Julien's auctions for a record $596,900. Other items sold at auction were Elvis Presley's cigar butt from 1975, Amy Winehouse's sweat and blood-stained ballet slippers, and Miley Cyrus's first IUD. And only one of those is made up. Can you guess which one? Comment below. Gymnast Simone Biles is on her honeymoon after marrying football player Jonathan Owens. Unfortunately for Jonathan, Simone came down with another case of the twisties. Speaking of marriage, a new study shows that over 70% of Americans cheat on their spouse at their bachelor party, making the other 30% liars. And that's all for Sketchworks NewsBrake. We'll be back next week, and we hope you are too. I'm Brian Troxel. Say hi to your mom for me. It really got dark in here.
And there's a lot of other, for example, the idea that we're, in terms of taxes, that they refuse to, for example, I was able to balance the budget and pass everything from the global warming bill. Anyway, I was able to cut by $1.7 billion in the first 2 years the deficit that we were accumulating. And because I was able to say to it that the 55 corporations in America that made $400 billion, or $400 billion, that they pay zero in tax, zero.